So we've got a second trailer for Aquaman. This one is extra long, so I'm very interested to see what we're gonna get. Let's do this. Fun.
My parents were from different worlds. And I was a product of a love that never should have been.
We could unite our worlds one day.
A son of the land.
Looks kind of overly
and a son of the
processed.
seas.
Your mother always knew you were special.
You are part of something deeper.
Going for that
You
epic
are the
feel.
bridge between land and sea. Take your rightful place as king.
Interesting. That's fun.
We're getting close now.
Oh yeah? Close to what? Dying
Is
of
there?
thirst? There's no way Atlantis were this far inland. Check this place out. This is badass!
Huh. Interesting.
It's real. Nothing.
Of course it's not working. It's been sitting here collecting dust since before the Sahara was a desert.
Before the Sahara was a desert. Let's just say you do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all. All right, now hold still.
Hey, what are you doing?
We need water. Near the closest source.
Ugh. So they said this was going to be like Indiana Jones underwater. Starting to see it.
Show off. I could have just peed on it.
In this trident resides the power of Atlantis. If you seek my power, journey beyond the edge of the world to the hidden sea. In the wrong hands, it would bring destruction. But in the hands of the true heir, it would unite all our kingdoms, above and below.
Hey, wait!
What?
Shouldn't we have written it down first?
I memorized it. Didn't you?
Oh, yeah, totally.
What did you just say?
Something, something, trident.
The beast has awakened.
Cars.
The time has come
Dolph
for
Lundgren.
Atlantis to rise again.
He's having a good year.
Who the hell are you?
Not crazy about the bright color scheme. Makes things look goofier than they are. It's a cool shot. It doesn't look quite right though. That looks like a person jumping, but the coloring and everything looks off. It's so overprocessed.
That was awesome.
The war is coming to the surface. You are not going to win this.
Billions will die unless you help us.
So you got a bunch of like wide angles on those action scenes. I love that.
I'm not a king.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.
All right, before I give my full take on this one, go ahead and tell me your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you mad you watched it because it showed so much, especially probably the first half of the movie? Tell me your thoughts down below. Also, after this video, check out this playlist right up here of my best DCEU ranking videos that I've done. I think that you'll really enjoy it if you like my thoughts on stuff. With that said, I'm going to watch it one more time and then start talking about it. All right, I got a bunch of thoughts on this one. The first one, I'll kind of kick off negative because I'm going to go pretty positive on this one, is that especially watching this longer take with a bunch of these daylight scenes, the color scheme looks weird to me. Everything looks processed. Even when they're clearly on a set, not on something green screen, it just looks so overly processed that everything looks fake to me. So I'm not crazy about how bright they're going and the way they're deciding to shoot this whole deal. And I don't know if that's a Zack Snyder overreaction to the Zack Snyder style or what. I'm just not crazy about it. I like the dark Zack Snyder look at things rather than this overly bright, overly processed look that I saw in most of these shots here, especially the stuff in that great action scene where they're running, where the long take action side of it was awesome. How bright it was. It just did not look right to me. Second thought on this one spends a bunch of time on this Sahara adventure that they go on, and I'm guessing that's going to be in the first half of the movie. So even though this trailer showed us a lot, I'm pretty sure it just showed us a lot of the first half of the movie. I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but that's what this feels like. They're holding off on the back end, giving us those little glimpses of this massive, epic underwater battle, but they're showed us a bunch of the setup and all that. And I'm digging that they said there were some quotes put out there about a year ago that this was supposed to be very inspired by Raiders of the Lost Ark. And you see that in this trailer. You can feel the globe-trotting adventures as you're trying to track some stuff down. You very much feel the Indiana Jones influence on this. And that's all good in my mind. I'm very cool with Aquaman, the Indiana Jones movie that's a superhero film that's an epic of sorts. I'm totally down for that. Sounds like fun to me. Another thing, I forgot Dolph Lundgren was in this, and I also kind of forgot Nicole Kidman was. Like, if you'd asked me, if you'd given me a quiz, I would have gotten it right. But just on like my active memory, I hadn't thought about it because she was only kind of shown in the first one, but not really clearly. And then we didn't really get a close up of Dolph in the first trailer. And so this one, you get to see his face, and it's like Dolph is having a good year. I don't know when the last time Dolph was in A-list big blockbuster, and he's got 2 big franchise movies coming out within a month of each other. So good for him, and great to see Nicole Kidman in there too. So obviously she's a great talent and he's a great screen presence. If you use Dolph right, I think he's been underutilized by Hollywood because he's been starring in a bunch of garbage. There's a bunch of stuff he could have been doing in A-list movies over these years. So great to see him in there. Also, I used this word before, but this movie seems to properly an appropriate use of the word epic. A lot of people overuse epic. Oh man, that was epic. This is the proper use. It's kings, kingdoms, ancient civilizations, globe-trotting, gigantic wars, mythical artifacts. Those are appropriately epic things, so that's cool that we're getting an actual epic type of film inside the DCEU that seems to earn it a little bit better than some of the stuff that we saw in the previous. So I'm digging the vibe that they're going for. And one kind of final thought in there is that they showed us some of the action, multiple action sequences, and it's wide shots, long takes. It's not chopped up. It's not zoomed in. I love that. The look that it looks like James Wan is going for the action, I'm totally on board with it. And so that's a huge plus for me, the way the action is being shot in here. There's some humor in there. There was at least one that got a good laugh out of me, and some of the other ones landed a little bit softer. So it seems a little bit like this movie is going to have some things that I'm going to love about it, and a general idea of what they're trying to do I'm going to be excited about. And it seems like there's some misfires in there. So the humor seems a little bit off. It doesn't quite land. It seems like they're trying a little bit too hard to lighten up the DCEU. Color scheme, I'm not so crazy about it. But at the same time, there's other shots I was like, that's really cool. So it's interesting. I'm very I have this one very high up there on my most anticipated movies just because it's James Wan, because it's DCEU, and DCEU's all over the place. I mean, there's a lot of criticism towards them, but they're always interesting to me. Even in the badness, it's interesting bad. So I'm curious about it. I'm excited to see what James Wan can do with a movie like this. So I'm on board. Tell me your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out that, whichever way it is, check out that playlist of my best rankings of DCEU films. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.